on the week. From Kenan Stadium at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, it's the North Carolina High School Athletic Association's 4A football championship game as Fayetteville's Douglas Byrd Eagles take on the AC Reynolds Rockets out of Asheville. Our game brought to you by Time Warner Cable. We bring your world home. And by Saturn of Fayetteville. Saturn of Fayetteville, a different kind of car, a different kind of company. Check out the new LS. Hello, everybody. Mac Edwards right alongside Coach John Daskell for the game. It's going to be a great one as the Reynolds Rockets and the Douglas Byrd Eagles get set to play. For Reynolds, Coach, we're looking at a team that is making its second trip to the state finals. They lost back in 1989 to Richmond County. And for Douglas Byrd, 4 times now they have been here in the 1990s, the 5th time overall in the history of Douglas Byrd High School, still looking for that first state championship.
Yeah, and Bob was also looking for his 301st win, which would tie him for the most wins in North Carolina. Also, Bobby Poss, who is now coaching at Reynolds, you know, he has won 2 state championships, tied for 1, and as you said, Bob's looking, Peroti's looking for his first.
It would be nice to see him not only tie the state record, but also win that first state title in this game. Both teams getting here following exciting, rather dramatic finishes in their regional championship games. For Reynolds, it was a last-minute field goal from some 32 yards out that got them here. For Douglas Byrd, they were taken into overtime by Pine Forest, but Byrd prevailed on that 4-yard scamper by C.J. Hardwick in overtime to win that one 20-17. The coaches know each other. The teams haven't met before. It will be a great one for the 4A state title game. We're proud to have it for you. We'll be back with the kickoff on Time Warner Cable and the game of the week. This one for all the marbles for the state of North Carolina right after this timeout.
This holiday season, Fox Family brings you the 25 Days of Christmas.
Great idea.
25 days of the very best holiday movies, specials, and more, including the world television movie premiere of Richie Rich's Christmas Wish.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
25 Days of Christmas, December 1st through the 25th, only on Fox Family Channel.
The Vikings take on the Chiefs Sunday on ESPN. The NFL on ESPN is brought to you locally by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. Nelson & Nelson Chiropractic Center. Bleecker Automotive Group, your Carolina Chrysler Plymouth dealer. And by Time Warner Cable.
UNC Chapel Hill, the site of the 4A state football championship game. Mac Edwards, Coach John Daskell, and there come the Rockets from AC Reynolds High School, the winners of the Western Division. Coach Bobby Poss in the middle of your screen. Folks from Southview, 71st High School, are familiar with that gentleman. 3-time winner of a state championship. One of those shared in his days at 71st, one outright. And, of course, 1991 with Marcus Wall and company. He won it all at Southview High School with the Tigers. Meanwhile, with a banner saying, "Oh, what a thrill to be back at the Hill. Let's go Eagles." The Douglas Byrd Eagles are all set to go crashing through that banner and get their crowd, a huge contingent from Fayetteville, representatives of the East after that big win over Mid-South Conference rival Pine Forest last week in overtime. Put them here 20-17.
You know, the excitement is just electrifying when you come down and you see the crowd on both sides of the field. And it says Byrd, who has been here several times before, and first time that Asheville has been here in quite a few years. As you can see, Coach Peroli and his entourage coming out onto the field there. And, you know, it's got to be a big thrill because he's been there so many times. He's done so much as far as athletics or football in North Carolina is concerned. be nice to see him win one.
Elected to the North Carolina High School Hall of Fame back on October 16th, Bob Paroli, 300th win last week. He could tie the state record with a victory tonight for his Douglas Byrd Eagles. We have a couple of human interest stories going on this evening, Coach. Douglas Byrd, for whom the school is named, is in attendance at 93 years old with the Eagles. And meanwhile, across the field for Asheville Reynolds, they hope to have their former starting quarterback, Chris Mott, who has been diagnosed with lupus and was diagnosed at about game 9 of the season, has been out since. They hope to have him here to cheer on his team.
And both of those got to be a big, big inspiration for both sides, as we can see the captains walking out to the middle of the field, and you've got Don Kuntz there from Mid-South Sports there with them as well.
Douglas Byrd Eagles are dressed in white with the cardinal numerals and the red helmets, and also with the Asheville Reynolds Rockets, the green jerseys, the white and gold numerals, and the gold pants. The officials tonight are being introduced, and let's tell them who they are, Coach.
Yeah, the referee being Dick Dorsett, the umpire Richard Harris, the linesman is Alan Bean, the line judge is Jerry Lindsay, the side judge is Paul Bolton, the field judge is Steve Costello, and the back judge is Joe Jones. They come from the North State Officials Association, and they rotate that all around. You know, of course, the officials are not from either one of the two conferences, but they sort of rotate.
And the Douglas Byrd Eagles come crashing through the banner as their captains are calling the toss here. A big contingent from Fayetteville, North Carolina, hoping that Byrd will bring home the title. You have some players who are starting in their second and some in their third title games.
And, you know, it's got to be a big thrill for these young people, as you can see the toss there.
Byrd wins the toss, defers, and then they'll wait until the second half. Reynolds will receive, and there is number 12, Chris Mott, the young man we were talking about. He is undergoing chemotherapy and steroid treatment for the lupus that has affected his body. And we, along with everyone on the Fayetteville side, wish him much success in his battle against the disease. Our prayers and thoughts are with he and his family.
That's true, because no one knows how much, you suffer as a result of that.
We are about ready to get a Jim Dandy football game underway, Coach. We're excited. Bob Paroli, although he never shows it outside, he's got to be excited inside. The stomach may be having a few butterflies right about now, you think?
Yeah, I think Bob's been around for a long time, but I tell you what, if you don't have butterflies, then you're not alive. So the thing about it is you definitely going to have butterflies, and then after the first series of downs or so, you'll find that things change. And this is a good one, a good omen as far as Byrd's concerned, because they'll get the ball back at the beginning of the second half. If they can hold things up and get a good kickoff here to start with, then we'll be in good shape as far as Byrd's concerned. As you can see Bobby on the sideline. And he's hollering out there, telling them watch for the onside kick, because they did that same formation against Pine Forest.
Luis Torres has the ball all set for the kickoff. Back deep, number 20 for the Rockets. That's the gentleman who will start at tailback, Andrew Oak. Torres wearing number 15 for the Eagles, and we're about ready to get the 4A championship game underway from UNC Chapel Hill. Glad you're with us on Time Warner Cable. Line drive taken at the 20 by Reynolds. Hit at the 34-yard line, making the hit, number 41 for the Eagles of Douglas Byrd, to Shannon Searles.
That was Josh Meadows on the return, taking back the short kick. Sometimes you wonder why they don't kick it deep. Actually, the little swift quick kick, if they can get it where it hits the ground and then it just sort of ricochets from side to side and does whatever. Didn't do too bad a job, but it ended up in their arms and it got more yardage than they intended for them to get.
Reynolds will start at the 34-yard line for the first possession of the evening. Chad Davis, number 10, the quarterback, pitches back to the deep back. That's Oak. Moves to the outside nicely and picks up about 3 yards. Andrew Oak the leading carrier for this team. 251 times he has carried the ball for Reynolds and racked up 1,512 yards.
Hey, that's not bad, is it? I think you and I could probably coach if we had a couple guys like that. We wouldn't need a whole lot of coaching. You know, defense is supposed to be the big key, and it's going to be interesting to see whether Byrd can hold the Rockets in this first series.
There you see the 155-pound junior calling the signals. Hands off to the first back through. A little bit of running room there, making the tackle for Byrd. J.D. Denard from his linebacking position. On the carry, the up back, Travis Newsom, a 165-pound senior for Asheville.
And as we say, this is a key down. Being third down, and we're talking somewhere in the vicinity of about 3 yards to go. If Byrd can hold them and make them kick here, then the defense has done its job for the opening. If they get the first down, then we'll have to see what happens after that. Quick snap.
And close to the first down. I don't think he got it, though, as the defense collapsed on Oak in a hurry. Leading the charge there for Douglas Byrd, amongst others, was number 40, Dontre Brown.
They're going to measure. I'll tell you what, at the angle we're at, it looks a whole lot different. It looks like he's the ball's back further, but they are going to measure, as we can see here, coming through, and he picks up close to the first down. And we see number 40, Dontre Brown, on the stop.
He dug in there strong. We will have a measurement on the field here. Just underway in the 4A championship game. And he is short.
He is short. Only about a yard to go. Bobby's not going to risk it either.
Not at the 43-yard line. He won't. Not at his own 43. He'll send in his punter, and that is Josh Meadows. And a nice round of applause from some of the coaches for the Douglas Byrd Eagles. Byrd, actually, we talk about looking for their first state 4A football championship. The Douglas Byrd School has not won a team championship since the school's inception. It would be a big night on Ireland Drive in Fayetteville if Byrd brings home the bacon this evening.
That's true. Byrd's loaded him up front, looking for some type of trickery.
Meadows gets the snap in the punt formation, gets off a low line drive, hits at the 33. Everybody clears out. Byrd will have it at the 29 for their first offensive possession.
Yeah, that's not a bad position, because, you know, had the kick been better, as I said, it seemed like he just sort of shanked that. I don't mean shanked it to the side. He just never got his foot into it. They could have been a heck of a lot further back. Now we can see what they're going to do. You know, when we went to the press conference in Monday, and as Coach Potts made the comment, says, Bob, if you don't throw the ball we want, we'll be through in about an hour, 15 or 20 minutes. And that very well may be. Now we're going to test the Rockets defense. They're supposed to be super.
Antoine Williams, the quarterback for the Douglas Byrd Eagles, Searles the up back. He gets it, tries the left side to Shannon. Nice room, and he picks up 6 on the carry for Byrd.
And that was a good move to Shannon, because the hole that he was intending or supposed to go through was closed. And he goes down the line and finds a little bit of opening, a little bit of daylight there. And then this is the key, because if the Shannon comes started, we're going to see here on the replay. You notice when he watch this now, he comes in, that's the hole. It's closed up. He goes outside, and then he just picks up a few yards, and you're not going to bring him down by just an arm tackle, as William Jackson, number 11, did. If he has a good night to start with, then he's going to be tough.
And it's important for Byrd to get a good start. CJ gets the first down on his first carry of the evening. And for the Byrd fans, they got to be happy to see CJ Hardwick starting at tailback after he was out most of last week's game with an injury to the finger, Coach.
That's quite right. And another thing, too, about this is that they've got a first down. Remember, against Pine Forest, we went into the second quarter before anybody had a first down,
right.
Period. And they only had 3, as we can see. CJ, see the cut? You know, it's just amazing what the young man can do. He can cut on a dime and give you 9 pennies back.
Ball resting at the 42 of Douglas Byrd. Pitch back to CJ. He'll try the left side. Lots of defensive pursuit this time around. He's forced out of bounds for a loss of about 3.5 yards as this senior-laden Rocket defense came calling. All 11 starters for the green and gold-clad Asheville Reynolds Rockets are seniors.
And that makes a lot of difference, because if you've got a senior-laden ball club, then everybody knows what everybody else is supposed to do. Each person has a position that they're supposed to cover, and the senior-laden team normally does that. They do what they're supposed to, be where they're supposed to be. Byrd has been known to throw some, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they go up now.
Ryan Bagley split out wide to the right in the formation. They'll pitch it back instead. This is Middleton, and Middleton is going to lose another half a yard or so And once more, the pursuit from Asheville Reynolds is strong. The linebackers and even the defensive backs in there to make the stop.
And this is what Asheville's been noted for. They have been known as their defense. They are quick as cats, and as a result, they can go from side, as we can see here on the monitor on the sweep. As it comes down, makes a little bit of sweep out, run outside, and what happens is he's just met by a host of them. Look at all the green jerseys there.
Darrell Middleton, who kind of picked up the slack last week when C.J. couldn't go, had a huge game for Byrd. Antoine to pass, looks out to Lowry, his favorite receiver. Calvin's got it, but not going to get a first down. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and Byrd will be looking at their first punting situation of the evening.
And, Mac, I think the big thing that you have to be looking for as far as the game's concerned is who's going to win this business about the special teams. You know, does Byrd get off a good punt? If they get off a good punt, put the Rockets back in the hole, then maybe, this will be a big plus. If he shanks the thing in there in good field position, then the Rockets are going to be, they're going to be hard to beat.
Bagley back to get the punt off. A nice high spiraling punt. Fair catch is called for and taken at the 23-yard line. Byrd doing a good job on that exchange of possessions, backing up A.C. Reynolds to their own 23. First time they had it, they were at their own 34.
Okay, now that the thing's over, Asheville has gone ahead and they've ran several plays to see what's happened. Byrd ran a couple, and then they got a first down off the deal too, and then Asheville shut them down and ended up to where they were basically losing yardage. Now we will see how they can start opening up, because now the coaches have got a feel.
No points on our Saturn Fayetteville scoreboard as of yet. Straight ahead on the carry, and Byrd will have nothing of it. Lorenza Pickett, the 200-pound sophomore, joined by numerous white-clad Eagles to put the stop on. The Douglas Byrd Eagles coming into this game at 13-2. They held 8 of their opponents to 1 touchdown or less during the season as they amassed that 13-2 record.
I'll tell you what now, as I said, defense is going to play, and we've seen it in the last several games that we have done. We have seen where defense was the big key.
And off straight ahead on the carry, and nothing is going on there either, is John Ingram, freshman who plays the defensive end position for Byrd, stops Oak, and that'll bring up a second down and long.
Okay, are we going to see a pass play now? Bobby is not one that normally throws passes. Is he going to be able to, is he going to open it up? The ball's resting somewhere on the vicinity of about the, 21-yard line of, 26-yard line of Byrd.
2 wides, but they decide to hand off, and tripped up.
He tripped up.
Number 44, that's Joe Cup, the junior fullback. They'll alternate 4 running backs in that offensive scheme for A.C. Reynolds. Coach will have Cup at the up back, or you'll have Newsom, and then you'll have either Oak, who we mentioned, or Josh Meadows. Meadows not a bad tailback in his own right either. We'll tell you more about him when Asheville Reynolds has it for their next possession. Meadows is back to punt again. See if he can get it up a little higher on this one than he did last go around.
And Lowry has been one who has fumbled on several of the occasions when he comes, when the ball gets to him.
Nice punt. Did it touch it?
I believe it did.
Well, the officials are not making any indication.
I believe it did. I believe it hit one of the...
It is.
It did. It hit one of the up backs as far as Byrd is concerned, and Asheville has a big break. That is a big key, because what it did, it hit one of the blockers who did not know where the ball was, and that's up to and that would be up to Lowry to warn him and let him know. Here we go. We're going to see whether we can see this as it comes down. As you can see right there, as the ball comes down,
and that's C.J. Hardwick,
and it hits him right on the backside. And Lowry should have let him know that the ball's coming. Get out the way, C.J. Whether he hollered or not, I don't know, but that's his responsibility.
All right, they will give the ball to the A.C. Reynolds Rockets. They get the first big break of the night as C.J. Hardwick was blocking, as he should have been doing, but did not know the ball was coming down right behind him. So on the handoff to the up back, Travis Newsom is nailed at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, wow. I believe somewhere along the way that both sides are going to have to put the ball up into the air a little bit, because if they don't, I don't think that they're going to be able to penetrate the line. Of course, here again, that's what they've done all year long. Now Asheville's been trying to run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. Are we going to see a sweep coming this time?
Well, let's take a look at it here. They try a pitch out, and not going to happen. Coming up to make the play once more is J.D. Denard, the senior. And Byrd was ready for that one. They snuffed it out in a hurry.
And you know, all the years that I've known Bobby, and we played, played against one another whenever he was back at 71st. This is what, as we can see here on the replay. Now watch this. Byrd comes down, takes the quarterback, and as we said so many times before, you have to take both individuals, and they just covered them both. Number 25 did a heck of a job, Denard. I'm glad he puts in the air this time.
3rd and 15. He's rolling out to the left, looking downfield. Got a man open down there. The pass is caught, but he's shy of a first down. That's Oak on the catch at the 28-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and 3.
Didn't see a flag, but the officials are sitting down there conferring.
John, that is only the 75th pass thrown by Reynolds this season and the 24th completion.
I believe we're going to get us a field goal.
It may very well be. The officials taking a momentary timeout to work on the equipment for Byrd.
Nope,
they're going.
They're going for it.
AC Reynolds, the Rockets from Asheville, North Carolina, will go for it on
4th and 3.
4th down. Chad Davis looking things over, looking to the sideline now to the official, getting his call.
This is a key here. If Byrd holds them now.
Here's the pitch back to Oak. He's
and he doesn't make it.
Stopped with a loss of a yard as the Byrd defense comes calling.
Oh, I tell you, that is huge, folks. That is really huge because Reynolds had not done a whole lot on the outside trying to save some of this, and it ends up they try the sweep. Byrd comes through and just jams them. You know, you talk about Reynolds' speed, and you need to talk about Byrd's speed as well because they just come through, and I'll tell you what, and we can see here on the replay. Watch this. He comes through, boom. That's Lowry who turns everything around. Lowry stuffs the blocking, and there's nowhere for him to go after that.
Byrd ball with 4:32 and counting in the first quarter. Hand off to Searles. Searles does a little twisting and turning, and to Shannon picks up about 2.5 yards.
And as we said, this is going to be a short ball game because it's 4:20 on the clock now, as you can see, ticking away. This quarter is just flying by. And neither one of them. Now, Reynolds had the opportunity first and didn't take advantage of it as far as the score. Of course, Byrd's defense did a heck of a job in stuffing it.
Byrd Eagles looking down at 2nd down. There's the pitch back, and is that CJ? We got a flag down and a vicinity of holding. If it's not brought back, it'll be a first down.
It's either going to be holding or it's going to be, it is holding.
That is going to be the call. It will negate the first down for Douglas Byrd. Boy, the Eagles have had a tough road to hoe to get to this point, Coach. They have had to play an incredible number of games. All their playoff games have been on the road, and they ended up their regular season on the road. It took a win at Terry Sanford and then some help across town to assure that Douglas Byrd would be into. There's the call of the holding. We'll repeat it. Let's see if we can catch the holding here, Coach.
Let's see if we can pick it up. They're down a little crowd that's down in the ground there. I don't know where it came from. You've got number 50 sitting down there on the ground, and also 41 Searles. Don't know whether it's either one of those two. Now you're talking 2nd and forever. We got 2nd and about 17.
There you see Antoine Williams, 170-pound junior for this Douglas Byrd Eagle offensive attack. Hands off to Middleton. Middleton is going to try to outrun the corner.
He gets the corner.
I couldn't believe he got there and got the first down. Man.
Wow, picked up the 17 yards. Didn't think he was going to be able to get outside, and he did.
Darrell Middleton turned on the speed when he saw the corner. I thought there was no way he would get there. Instead, does make it around and picks up more than the 17 for the first down.
And watch this on the replay now. It seems like he's going one way. He hands it back off. Now watch it right here. It looks like he's fixing to get stopped, and he just outruns. He just outruns 24, which is Chris Bagamy, and he just let him have it. And it's unreal what he had done. And you know, he was a running back last week.
Got a man in motion for Byrd. Pitch back to CJ. CJ turns it back up, and he moves forward to about the 43-yard line.
And it depends on who handles who up front. Right now, Byrd may have a tad of an upper hand because they're able to move the ball a little bit better. You know, even coming back from the 17-yard, but they're able to come back up, pick up a few yards here and there. Now, if they can drive this thing down and put something on the scoreboard, as you can see on the sideline there, number 33, as you can see Middleton. Middleton's played a heck of a defensive ball game.
Hand off to the up back this time on the right-hand side to Shannon Searles, still on his feet to the 45-yard line. They'll move the chains again.
That's a little counter. They'll fake it one way, then run the trap back to the short side, and Searles picked it up. Talked to Coach Paroli about it. He says, I tell you what, if Shannon has a good first quarter, if he's able to pick up some yardage, then you better look out because he gets his confidence built up, as you can see here. As the trap comes in, he finds a little bit of an opening, and you're not going to just grab him because these guys like the ones at Reynolds. You know, both of these are strong teams.
And so Shannon listed at 180 pounds. That's a nice tackle there. But 45 coming up and also 32 to make the hit. That's Tyrell Seiler, number 32, who made the hit on C.J. Hardwick that time around. But with this Douglas Byrd team, when you look at Shannon Searles, he might only weigh 180 pounds, but he packs a wallop like he's about 230.
That's true. As you can see, Mike Paroli on the sideline there, pacing side, and Ray Bloomfield, who had worked with Bobby when they were over at 71st and took over after Bobby left.
That's a 2-yard loss in the play for Byrd. They got 12 to go on this second down. They'll go to C.J. Good blocking out front if he can turn it inside, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage and a couple more.
I tell you, it's just amazing to see what he can do. He's not as big as the running backs are for Reynolds, but he does have that little speed and that little knack for cutting to go in or out or wherever it needs to go. And if you don't get hold of him, he's going to take advantage of you.
John, it was 4 years ago that C.J. Hardwick was in this game as a defensive back. He would give Willie Gilchrist an occasional breather. And in that freshman year, we saw C.J. and said, you know, this young man has some excitement. We might see some things from him. Of course, the past couple of years, he's kind of put the team on his back and carried him when it came to the running back situation with some help up front from some very strong up backs in that offensive lineup for the Douglas Byrd Eagles. Time Warner Cable, bringing your world home and also bringing these great football games to you on our high school football game of the week. We want to thank Alan Spencer and the fine folks at Time Warner Cable for bringing the high school football state championship game to the folks in and around Cumberland County on Time Warner Cable.
You know, you talk about C.J. Here you got a young person coming out of the middle school, going to the 9th grade, and then from there starting on a team that comes up to the state championship. So he's been a starter for all 4 years. So that shows you the type of athlete that he is. As you can see Coach Paroli there on the sideline, and also Mike talking with his offensive unit, trying to get things together about what they intend to do. Because we're sitting there talking about 3rd and 6th. So big down as far as Byrd's concerned. This is their deepest penetration up to this point. They need to get down to roughly about the 35 before they get a first down.
There you see the change, the distance they go for the Douglas Byrd Eagles. Ball resting at about the 41-yard line. 3rd down. See if we get a pass this time around. Nope, they'll go to C.J. C.J. needed a block out there.
He's not going to get it.
That's Middleton actually on the carry.
I tell you, it's tough when it comes down to it because both of these things, you know, both of them bent a little bit, but they certainly haven't been able to, certainly haven't broken. Now, as I said, this is a good opportunity if they can get the proper punt off, as we can see here on this replay. As you notice having the sweep, and there's nowhere for him to go. They just penetrated across, and then number 21 comes through and does one heck of a job of putting everybody down. That's
just
John Boggs.
160 pounds is all that John Boggs weighs.
And we got a flag. Must be against Byrd. Procedure.
They'll back it up another 5 on Douglas Byrd. Only 36 seconds to go in our first quarter of play. All 3 first downs registered in this first quarter of play have been on the side of Douglas Byrd's ledger.
Against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
The A.C. Reynolds Rockets have yet to get a first down. And, of course, as you mentioned, Coach, the defense came up strong for Byrd after the problem with the punt last time around from Reynolds. This time, Bagley is back to take the snap. Byrd gets the kickoff from the 35. It's high, not very long. Going to take a Byrd bounce, though, and go inside the 25 and near the 20 before it's down, and that's where Reynolds will take over.
That's not bad. They would have loved to have had it a little bit closer than that. But at least Reynolds has had only one great opportunity as far as scoring was concerned when they had the ball hit CJ on the back, and they got it into Byrd territory. Other than that, they've played in their own backyard. Of course, the big thing, as we said before, two things. One is breaks. Asheville had a break, wasn't able to capitalize on it, and the other one is special teams as far as punting is concerned.
Davis, the quarterback, as Israel goes in motion. Byrd resets the defensive lineman, and that's a handoff to number 40. That's Josh Meadows, and Meadows gets the Reynolds first down.
Yeah, that may be more. When they put the guy in motion or did the switch, Byrd had to make some adjustments and did not make the total adjustment. They were a little bit late moving over, thinking maybe there's a little bit of discrepancy as we can see here. They were still moving, and I don't know whether they were in the right place, and as a result, they were able to pick it up.
Nice run there for Meadows. Clock is ticking down. This will be the final play of this first quarter from Kenan Stadium at UNC Chapel Hill. Up back, not going to go anywhere. Newsom is stopped, and that's 1 quarter of play in the books. It's the 4A state championship game at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. 0-0 after 1 quarter. We'll be back with the second quarter of play on the game of the week right after this timeout. Back to the 4A state championship football game. The Reynolds Rockets from A.C. Reynolds High School in Asheville and the Douglas Byrd Eagles from Fayetteville score 0-0 after 1 quarter of play. Mac Edwards and John Daskell with the action for you. Coach, any surprises you saw in that first quarter?
No, the only thing was the big mistake that was made by Douglas Byrd and hitting CJ, but the fact is that the defense is dominant, and we knew that getting from the get-go that was probably what's going to happen. The defense would play the big part.
Pitch back and nice run there. On the carry is number 40, Josh Meadows, 1,311 yards for Meadows. So when you put the tailbacks together for this Reynolds team, Coach, you're looking at a combined 2,800 yards of offense from numbers 20 and 40.
Got a little stat. Watch this on the replay. As you can see, a huge hole opening up. Of course, he cringed a little bit when he came through there. He sort of bowed up. I don't know whether he's been hit enough to get it. Now, this is another big down, 3rd and short.
On the play, and
he may have gotten that. Yeah, he may have picked up that first down.
That again is Meadows on the carry.
And it got some first quarter stats. You know, first downs, Byrd had 3, Reynolds 1. Yards rushing, Byrd had 44, Reynolds 20. Yards passing, Byrd had 5, Reynolds had 11. Total yards, Byrd had, 49, and Reynolds had 31.
They'll bring the sticks in from the far side to do the measurement here.
And punts, Byrd punted twice for 32 yards. Reynolds punted twice for 34 yards. Penalties, Reynolds had 2 for 15. No, Byrd had 2 for 15. Reynolds had none. Time of possession, Byrd had 6 minutes and 36 seconds. Reynolds had 5 minutes and 24 seconds.
Well, they get it by half a football. The first down for the Rockets. You'll see the number 12 on tape on the back of the helmets. Again, that is for Chris Mudd, the gentleman who started at quarterback most of the season for these Rockets. Straight ahead on the carry, that's 44, Joe Cup, and he finds a hole somehow after it looked like he was shut down and picked up about 5.
And that's what they want to do. They want to run right straight up the middle at this, and they feel like if they can do that, then it opens up the outside stuff, because then Byrd's going to have to jam it up in the middle to stop those traps. And that's the biggest gain they've had coming up through the middle, which now, as you see, watch the trap here. The thing opens up. He's able to squeeze through, and it ends up that 42, Pickett was not able to bring him down, and he picked up about 5.
On the left side, and no, they can't call it that time. Pickett was not to be denied that time around. Number 42, the 200-pound sophomore, closed that hole in a hurry.
Pickett says, you get me once, you don't get me again. I'll tell you that right now. And 3rd down. Now, this is 3rd and much longer than what they had the last time. Big series, big down. Byrd can ill afford to let them get too close, because if they end up having to punt, it's going to put them deep into a hole, and they don't need to be there.
Wideouts to each side for the Rockets on this play. Up back gets it, and he gets slammed by Pickett once more. Lorenzo Pickett with a little bit of help out there from Dontre Brown. And that was a nice set of series for the Byrd defense.
And Middleton was also there as well. You know, that was a whole host of them coming in there. Now we get the punt. Let's see. Lowry is, as we see here. Watch this hit. Boom. Boy, I'll tell you what, you get a headache or heartbeat with that.
I don't want to meet Lorenzo heads up like that.
No. Let's see what happens this time.
That is punt. Nice high kick. Lowry makes the catch, and fair catches at the 17-yard line.
And Reynolds has won that particular round as far as special teams is concerned, because now Byrd's got the ball on roughly the 17-yard line. This is the deepest that they've been able to start.
Douglas Byrd, we mentioned, won 5 in a row coming into this one. 8 of 9 they have won, dating back to just after the loss to Southview. Of course, Pine Forest beat them, and they avenged both of those losses in the playoffs on consecutive weeks. 9-0 at Southview and 20-17 at Pine Forest. Little misdirection play here on the carry. Byrd gets it up to the 20-yard line. And Pine Forest
had a little trap on that, and it was not able to get the trap man out. Now, Byrd had big success on that the first time that they ran it. They picked up about 10 yards. You know, they need to get out of this hold, and they need to get out of it in a hurry, because the punting hasn't been all that good. They've been averaging, as I said, as far as punts itself is concerned, they've been averaging about 32 yards. 32 is going to leave them deep in their territory.
Old habits hard to break, John. I see a green jersey. I want to say Pine Forest.
Yeah.
It's the Reynolds Rockets.
There's a misdirection.
Watch CJ.
Again.
Finds 3 of the Rockets waiting on him, but he picks up a few yards on the carry and bring up 3rd down now for Douglas Byrd.
That was a nice hole. That's been one of the better plays that they've had, faking one way and then coming back with the other. As we can see this again, as you can see Williams coming, makes the fake, hands the ball off to CJ, and CJ just picks up with whatever yards that he has. There's another angle of it. Now look at the hole open up. And CJ's able to pick up. Now this is a big down here as we're going 3rd and 3.
Antoine Williams hands off to CJ on the right side, looking for a hole. Doesn't find it.
No.
Down at the 26. He'll be a yard shy of the 1st down, and Byrd will be forced to punt.
Yeah, that's the same situation, that same play that they ran previously. They were trying to go back to it again. Big punt coming up here.
Douglas Byrd Eagles coming in. We mentioned to you they're 13-2. Bobby Paz's Reynolds Rockets at 14-1. Their lone loss, Coach, came oddly enough to crosstown rival Asheville. And it's an interesting situation up in the mountains. You have both 3A and 4A teams in that same conference up there. And it's a pretty good punt. He's going to be fielded at the last second down there by Oak, and the ball at the 37-yard line. And oddly enough, both Asheville High, the Cougars, and A.C. Reynolds from Asheville, the Rockets we're seeing tonight, made the state title weekend. Asheville Cougars losing their game, and of course the Rockets hoping to win it for Asheville here against Byrd.
Well, you know what we missed tonight?
Yes, I do.
There's not a Pedon's up here that we could go eat.
Nope. And it just ain't the same if you don't get to stop at Pedon's before the game. We want to thank them for sponsoring our broadcast. We'll tell you more about some New Year's specials coming up, too, at Pedon's later on. Only about a half-yard gain on that carry straight up the gut for the Rockets.
You know, getting back to what you said, there's a 4A and a 3A. As you can see Coach Baroli on the sideline. There's a 4A and a 3A situation up there. Reynolds is 4A, and they're playing in a conference as 3A, which is allowed simply because there's not any other 4A teams in the area that they can go to. And you're trying to travel, you know, in the mountains is not the easiest place in the world to get around. So they just have to do that.
Bobby Paz said a lot of folks had to break out whiteout and erasers prior to this championship weekend because most of them already had Richmond County in ink for this weekend. Of course, the Reynolds Rockets pulling the unexpected upset at Richmond last weekend, where Richmond County had won 44 in a row. They beat them 13-10 as Chad Rice kicked a 32-yard field goal in the final minute of that one.
And Ishmael Middleton was one of the ones who was in the middle of that one. Now, you know, the last couple series, it was 3rd and short, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5. Now we've got 3rd and 8.
Davis hands off to the deep back in the play. He's not going to get there. Going to be a couple of yards shy as the Eagles defense is able to stop Andrew Oak, the 5'11 senior speedster for these Rockets.
we liable to be going into overtime as far as this game's concerned. What was it we said last week whenever we were playing Pine Parks? We said the thing you need to bring a lunch because we're liable to be here in the morning. You know, this is very well liable to happen. And we got Asheville Reynolds spotters to our left up here at the booth. We need to check with them, see what's coming off.
Back to punt again for the Rockets is Josh Meadows. High snap, he pulls it down well, almost blocked back there by Denard.
All right, that time Lowry was hollering out there, get away, get away, get away, because he's waving his arms. He's making sure that nobody was there in the, you know, in the midst of what's going on as Lowry comes off the field.
John, it would be odd for this Douglas Byrd team that has won 10 Mid-South titles, had been ranked at the top of the state most of the past 3 to 4 years, to win a state title the one year they finished third in their own conference.
And, you know, and they did it with a lot of people. Of course, they had CJ, but this is not one of the more noted teams that they had where you had a whole bunch of, you know, of people that everybody knew, you know, and so as a result, they sort of slipped up on you. As once again trying to eke it out, something up tight, and then we end up picking up a couple yards off of that, or picking up 1 yard, so we're talking about 2nd and 9. As you can see the clock ticking away with 5:06 and ticking. So, as I said, time is flittering by, and what Bobby said, you know, is, hey, if neither one of us throw too many passes, we'd be through in an hour.
He said both teams want to own the ball. It's been pretty much that way all night. Lowry on the receiving end. He's up to the neighborhood of the 28-yard line on the pass and the catch. It'll still leave him about 5 shy of a first down.
And you better watch, because it came down that time. Lowry's just twice now. He's gone and he's run the hitch. He's gone, stopped, come back. And, you know, one of these times he's going to go down, run the hitch, and go, as we can see here. See how much time. He had a little bit of time to throw the ball. The ball gets there, and then you can see coming up. And, of course, you also see number 11 coming over to pick him up, Anderson. It's going to be interesting. Now, Lowry is way out to the Is that Lowry on the other
He's
side?
half a mile out that way. Here's the pass. Out there as Bagley. They were going for. It's incomplete. Bagley came up with it, but it hit the ground first. It looked like Boggs was going to have the interception for a moment. And then Ryan Bagley almost was able to look it in on the halfback pass from Darrell Middleton.
Actually, what happened, he just didn't have enough arm to get it down there, throw the ball. Had he done so, we may have seen 6 on the board because he had him beat.
Well, we've heard a lot of folks talk about Bobby Poss having tricks up his sleeve for the game, but the first rabbit pulled out of the hat tonight came from that of Bob Paroli. Although the pass ball is incomplete, it makes you aware of what else can happen as the night goes on. Bagley now the punt. It's caught at the 48-yard line. Oka, rather daring punt receiver back there, Coach.
Yes, he is. And slowly but surely, Reynolds is winning the battle of the special teams, because now they've got the ball up to the 49-yard line.
Let's take a look at that last play and see how it unfolded. Byrd almost having it intercepted, then almost completed.
He just comes up, hits off of his fingertips, and it just boom right in front of him. He was not able to get back and pick it up.
Unfortunately, first bounce doesn't count in this game.
No, Bagley was there with it, though.
Byrd readjusts the defense, and it worked out fairly well, but good strong legs on the carry that time by Josh Meadows. Thought he was going to be caught for only a yard, so he actually moved it up about 5.
Right, Tommy Batcher is one of the individuals that had him low, and as it ended up, somebody had to help him out. As you can see, a good shot there of the Rockets offense. Here's the replay. As he comes through, the block out on the side, as you can see him holding on, and then boom. Then he comes up and gets a little help from his friends.
Tommy had him, but he was just dragging him right along with him.
Yeah, Pickett had to come up and help out, too, get off of a block.
We've got a timeout on the field. The Rockets didn't like something, and the clock was about to run out on the play call. Chad Davis started over to talk to Coach Poss for a moment.
Yeah.
Here's Bobby Poss talking to sidelines. Coming up starting around New Year's time, Coach, right on January 5th, there are going to be some very special New Year's specials at Peden's Seafood and Catering at 1608 MacArthur Road. If you haven't been to Peden's, do yourself a favor. Drop on by here during the holiday time and enjoy yourself some shrimp or some chicken or some fish or some barbecue, if you will. And if you've been, well, what are you waiting for? You need to get back on over there and enjoy the big old plate.
Well, you know, after you get by Christmas where you eating all that turkey and dressing and all those things, you need to have a little bit of a variety in your diet. I know I'll be there anyway.
You know, they were getting so late beating us up here in Chapel Hill, we were tempted to call up Jimmy or Ricky and tell them to bring the truck on up here with some barbecue for us.
That's true. That's exactly right. And I tell you what, they would have probably been up here a whole lot quicker than we got what we got anyway.
488-1972, the number to call for Peden's Fresh Seafood and Barbecue in Fayetteville. Again, those New Year's specials starting January 5th. Bob Paroli, we mentioned, inducted into the North Carolina High School Hall of Fame, looking for win 301 in his first state championship tonight. Reynolds on the left side. Nice hole over there near first down yardage on the carry for Josh Meadows.
And that's what they did before. You know, I told you that Byrd had a little bit of a difficulty. Uh-oh, we've got somebody hurt there. Number 87.
87 limping off to the far sideline.
Justin Morgan.
He is the wide receiver in the set.
You know, they did that before, and Byrd had to make the adjustment and moving over. And I guess they spotted something up here saying, hey, whenever we do that, they move over. We need to run back where everybody came from. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they go back to this again.
Boy, this second quarter is just motored right along. We're under 3 minutes to go in the first half.
They've got two wideouts as the same setup. They're doing it again, identically the same thing. Let's see if they go back to the same place.
3rd and 2. A big hole on the right side. Byrd makes the play. Cornegie over there to help make the hit. Mike Cornegie still having trouble wrapping folks up. Reason being, he's playing with a broken arm and has been most of this season. He'll get an operation and have it all reset at the end of this season. But Mike Cornegie, the senior, did not want to miss his final year, and he's playing. And watch him here on the replay. Has a chance to bring him down and then had to get some help to wrap it up.
And we've got a timeout call. Watch this on the replay. Good cut, good move. And it comes back, and then you see, boom, he just goes ahead and wraps him up as you got Lowry and Cornegie over there making the stop. That's not a bad move. He did a good job in making the cut, as we can see coming up over our little golf cart. We've got the camera up on top, coming down making the shot. As you can see, Mike Paroli out on the talking to the defense, getting them some information that they need, because we're going to have to put a hole. As he's telling them, hey guys, you stop them down here now, we get the ball for the second half kickoff, and so it's going to come to us. We don't want any points up on the board. We got to get ourselves straight now, as we can see the little cart that we talked about going up and down the sideline.
Time Warner Cable bringing your world home and bringing the 4A State Football Championship to you in the greater Fayetteville area. We're glad you're along with us here from UNC Chapel Hill and Keenan Stadium. Mac Edwards alongside Coach John Daskell. And, John, we expected a battle on the field, a battle of defenses, not a lot of passing. And, frankly, we haven't been surprised tonight, have we?
That's true. And the big thing is now, as I said, now it's all on the line. This is what's going to have to count. Oh. Josh Scott Meadows got a little bit of yardage there going back, but I tell you, it's tough coming up in the middle of that thing. It's just tough trying to bang in there. I don't know if you're going to be able to break it. You're going to hit a couple halfway decent ones, but you're not going to get very far as time is twisting on down. Of course, you know, if they get close enough, they're going to go for a field goal, which will bring it, you know, try to get something up on the board.
See how well wrapped the wrist area of Cornegie is there, and he's been playing with it like that most of the season.
Yeah, he's got a knee pad up under that they wrap, because he's got a brace, and you can't have anything hard exposed.
Looking like Davis was changing the call as he came up to the line of scrimmage. Cup is in motion, and we're going to get a timeout, or are we going to get the delay? Delay before the timeout.
Don't see a flag.
They'll mark it back 5 yards.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Dead ball.
Bobby.
Delay of the game against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Okay, they called a timeout, didn't get the timeout. Bobby's trying to fuss at the official. The official's not having any of it, and that brought an end to it. So now he's calling the play back in. His time stretched on down to 17. So he's got a long way to go to come out to get the play in. That's Chad Davis, quarterback. You better get his... Okay, as you can see, Chad right there.
Pitch back, there's Oak, and he loses his footing as the blocker actually had his legs cut out from under him, and that inside tripped up Oak as well. And that'll bring up a third down at about 11.
That's a good move. Look, I think the guy that did this was J.D. Denard. And that's if you can knock down the interference then there's nowhere for him to go. I mean, it's just like he's running naked out there, and that's exactly what he did. He just cut it right out from under him.
It's a draw
Good
play,
draw.
and he's got a big hole near the first down. A big play for the Rockets, and that was Oak, and he had a huge hole on the draw play and just went flying through it.
And that's the first down. The draw play is a super call. Boy, I tell you what, we love to run the draw. Now watch this now. He's going to go back for the pass, and then he holds it up, and everybody sees it. Good block, number 52. The center does a good block on the linebacker. That's Jamie Brown, and he just opens it up.
Terrell Middleton had to make the play instead. Byrd this time stops him after a couple of yard gain on that carry, and that's 44. Joe Cup, the junior, on the carry. Joe with 708 yards on the season coming into this one.
Right now, if they'd go to kick the field goal, they're on roughly the 24. That's 34. Whew, be 41, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Second down is 7. Clock's at 37 seconds now. Big rush is on. Davis escapes, flings it to the end zone. Got a man wide open. Touchdown, Reynolds, and we're going to get a flag, too, I'll bet. Yep.
He was wide open. He lost him in the end zone down there. They didn't even see him. He came down, and they just did not see him at all.
With 27 seconds to go in the first half of play, Chad Davis hooks up to number 33, James Lee, in the end zone for the touchdown. It's 6-0 Rockets. Here we go again, John.
And Darrell Middleton just lost him. He was over in the middle of the field, and he's down there all by himself, and here comes the flag. The touchdown is there. There's no sense in hitting him now. It's all over. So the 15-yard penalty will probably be assessed on the opening on the kickoff, and we go from there. Now, he just flat lost him, because he came down, and what he was doing in the middle of the field, I have no earthly idea. And then he just threw the ball, and he was there all by himself.
24 yards on the hookup.
Personal foul against the defense. The penalty is declined. The touchdown is good.
Okay.
Oh.
That's dead ball foul. I thought that would be assessed here.
I did too.
I mean, that would not have taken that away.
That would have been after the play, but that's
Right.
the call from the official. They'll go for the point after here from Chad Rice. Gets it up and splits the uprights. It's 7-0. Reynolds strikes in the final 30 seconds of the first half. Big time on the Davis to Lee hookup, and they lead it 7-0.
And that's a huge play, because that is something that's going, as I said, that's not something that they wanted. Watch this on the touchdown. As you can see, he's just sitting there all by himself. They just lost him.
7-0 our score. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association 4A championship game.
As you can see, Chad he throws the ball, he gets down, and all of a sudden Middleton is just lost. He never sees him at all. Now, I don't know whose band that was, whether that's his or whatever. I'll tell you what wouldn't be a bad idea, Mac. There's only 27 seconds left on the clock. We're going to try an onside kick now.
Well, you'd certainly wake somebody up if you did.
There's a lot of space sitting right there in the middle of this thing. As we got Chad Rice, the number 82 is the kickoff person.
We're ready to get this one cranked again here. 7-0. The Rockets of A.C. Reynolds hit the scoreboard first. There's your low kick anyway. Not exactly onside. Lowry covers it after it jumped up and hit him in the face mask. And Byrd will have it at the 34-yard line and may just run a couple and get to the locker room to regroup.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to find them doing anything strange off of this, simply because of the fact that they know they're going to get the ball back. There's no sense in trying to throw something down here, get the thing intercepted, and then they come back and put something else up on the board, or either kick a field goal and make it even worse than it is.
Antoine Williams has his instructions from Bob Paroli and the Byrd coaching staff. He'll come up to the line of scrimmage, take the snap from Jay Armstrong, and see what happens from there. He's going to pass. Are you kidding me? Look at this to Lowry. Lowry almost made the catch. Calvin, if he'd taken another step, may have had a better shot at making the catch. He was also worried about turning into a defensive back had it been picked off.
That's not a bad situation, too. Williams just doesn't really have the arm that some of the quarterbacks have in the league. Sometimes when you go and you force his defensive back to go, then you can come back if it goes short. As we can see here on the replay, he's got time to throw the ball, but as it ends up, the thing is a little bit short as Lowry comes back. He almost gets the thing there.
Second down. This time they'll hand off to the deep back. Got some running room there, and a first down on the carry for Douglas Byrd and C.J. Hardwick.
And they're going to stop the clock for, well, I don't know.
They're going to take a timeout, it appears here, Coach.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have to do that.
45-yard line. They're going to regroup, though. They got 10 seconds left. Good long fling.
Well, all he had to do was come up and get the ball. When everybody gets up and then throw it down it, then you've got, you've got the 25 seconds to go ahead and put whatever else you want.
Yeah, you got a couple of timeouts to burn anyway, so you're not going to use them all up in 10 seconds.
I think this is the last one. I don't think you get the 3, and he's already called 2.
Douglas Byrd getting to this point with victories over Hoggard on the road, 34-3 to Shannon Searles, 161 yards rushing in that game. They went on the road and took care of a demon in the name of Garner, 31-21, the team that beat them in the Eastern Finals last year. And then consecutive wins at Southview, 9-0 in a defensive struggle. And that exciting overtime victory last week at Pine Forest, 20-17.
Okay, now we've got Lowry to the short side of the field. That is to the hash mark over towards the sideline of Asheville Reynolds. As you can see him over there, and they're backing back off of him. They're giving him plenty of room.
Williams to pass. Look at, oh, what a collision.
No flag.
CJ and number 24, Chris Bagamery, were both going before the pass. It's an incompletion. They both hit as the ball hit all at the same time. All three arrived with 3 seconds to go. Let's again.
Look at this thing again and see how this flares out.
Hang on to your hats when this collision takes place.
Okay, there's the ball. Yep, they all got there at the same time. Good call by the official.
2 wides this time, split out for Douglas Byrd.
3 seconds on the clock. This is it. Whatever happens, this is it.
For the first half to Shannon Searles straight ahead to midfield, and the clock runs out on the first half of play. A big ovation from the Asheville side as their green-clad Rockets go into the locker room with a 7-0 lead in the 4A state title game against the Eagles of Douglas Byrd Senior High School. We'll be back with our halftime festivities and hope to talk to a couple of folks here at Keenan Stadium at UNC Chapel Hill right after this timeout on the Time Warner Cable Game of the Week. We're getting ready for the second half of action. The AC Reynolds Rockets leading Douglas Byrd 7-0. The Rockets hitting the big play in the final 30 seconds of the first half. A 24-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Chad Davis down to number 33, James Lee. Here it is again on the replay. Lee all alone in the end zone. Sees it in, and that is the most important part. Frankly, his biggest concern was how long the ball was going to hang up there and have way too much time to think about it, Coach.
Yeah, and of course I put everything on Middleton down there. I don't know, that probably wasn't his man because he's the safety. Somebody else is evidently supposed to pick him up. But here again, being the safety, then you won't have to read the quarterback's eyes and then get over there and make the cover.
The kick to start the second half, another squibber. Byrd takes it at the upfield, and a nice break for Douglas Byrd to the 45-yard line as 10, Calvin Lowry, comes up with it, and Byrd will have it in good position.
Yeah, they've got to get something going. Now, Byrd can't go too long into the ball game being down 7 points. If they can come back and put something up on the board and break the momentum of the Spirit as far as Asheville's concerned. If not, then the momentum's going to build and build and build and build, and it's going to be a heck of a lot harder toward the end of the ball game to get something on the board.
And Quan Williams calling signals for the Eagles. Got a man in motion coming to the near side. He pitches it back to C.J. Hardwick. C.J.'s got a little bit of running room there and sticks his head down and drives forward and picks up a few more. Gives us a chance now to set the offensive line for the Douglas Byrd Eagles to start the second half. As you get a good look at C.J. Hardwick, the starting tailback, to Shannon Searles, the up back of that I formation. Jay Armstrong snaps it. He's been playing with a broken bone in his foot pretty much all season. Sean Simmons and Jamar Godwin also up front, along with Ray Schote and Justin Smith.
Actually, that whole crowd over there for Byrd need to get the Purple Heart. Because
right.
I tell you, they've been banged up and banged up and banged up.
2 wideouts for Byrd on this play as you got a young man in motion, Aaron Kirkland. Hand off to Searles. Searles hit headlong and is just buried back there under a sea of green jerseys.
That's a good shot by Reynolds, the number 30, who was Kyle Poss. That must be Bobby's son.
It is indeed.
He did a heck of a job on that one. He just stuffed him. And I mean, when he hit him, that was it. He just, boom, that was the end of that.
One of those 11 seniors starting for the defense for AC Reynolds.
Let's see what we do now as far as the pass.
3rd down, Williams looking to Lowry. Instead, he's keeping it. Tries to get the 1st down. He's going to be about a 1.5 yard shy.
Golly. Boy, he had a blocker right in front of him. All he had to do was cut back, come behind the blocker, and he would have been able to pick up even more yardage than he did. Watch this on the replay now. As you see, here he is. He's starting running. Now, you've got a blocker sitting right out there in front of him. Well, I was wrong.
He was being chased from behind.
Yeah, he was
cut it back
chased
up.
behind. I didn't see the one back there, but I tell you what, he came within an inch. So we're talking 4th and, 2 yards.
All right, back is Bagley to take the snap. They tried to draw him offside, and if they did, Byrd's got a 1st down. A long snap count for Douglas Byrd on the punt formation. The officials will discuss it if they march off 5, and it looks like they will. Let's give it a listen.
That's true. Now, what they did the same thing that Reynolds did to Byrd earlier in the game. When Reynolds came up, they put their hands.
Encroachment against the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
All right, they put their hands up on the knees, and then whenever the quarterback gave a signal, then they went down. Byrd didn't move. This time they did the same thing to Reynolds and caught him.
How close was that first half of play? Douglas Byrd had 72 yards in rushing, 75 for Asheville Reynolds. Total offense for Byrd, 80, 110 for Reynolds. On the left-hand side, big hole out there for CJ. Lost the ball.
Fumble the ball.
And who's got it?
Reynolds.
Yeah, the officials are still looking at it.
It's Flavius Reynolds because they're coming off the field.
And they do have it.
CJ got hit in the back, and boy, I tell you what, things were going pretty good for him, and then all of a sudden, boom. And see, that's the thing that causes the problem. You can't afford to let things like that happen.
Mac Anderson up under the pile.
Watch this now as they're on the replay. CJ comes in, he's got some pretty good yardage there, getting the ball, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's going to get hit in the back, and the ball just pops right out of his hand. CJ, you got to cover that thing up when you're fixing to get hit, son.
9:38 to go in the 3rd quarter. Reynolds with it, got the big break, but there's a big hit for Douglas Byrd, and that's number 40, Dontre Brown. 210-pound sophomore. Coach, I had to chuckle after the Pine Forest game last week. I was coming off the field, coming out of the press box, and I ran into Dontre's mother. And she said, "That's my baby, number 40. That's a big baby, but he plays big on the Douglas Byrd defense.
I don't know what she's been feeding him, but I tell you, if everybody else was eating the same thing, they would all be big. Let's see what's happening here.
2-yard loss in that play. Byrd stops him again. They pick up about 3 on the carry and will bring up 3rd and 9.
That's Pickett, one of the ones that stopped him there. Also, you had Middleton as well. No, Cornegie, Mike Cornegie as well. Of course, Cornegie made the hit, and then Pickett just held on and pulled him on down.
Oak, the ball carrier on that play, had 20 yards in the first half. He was not the leading rusher in the first half, though. It was Meadows who had 39 on 9 carries for Reynolds.
Okay, so now we're talking 3rd and 9. Big series of down. Bird's running all over the place, trying to get themselves set. There's another motion. Let's see what happens from here.
One lone back in the backfield. They option, and Byrd just snuffs it out as Lorenzo Pickett puts a big pair of arms around him and nails Chad Davis before he could get rid of the ball. Actually, that's 45. Ishmael Middleton making the play.
Yeah, John Ferguson, it was supposed to be his man. Middleton just beat him to the punch. As we can watch, as it comes down to the left side, he's supposed to pick him up. See Middleton come right off of the block?
Oh.
Boom. Comes down there, and there was just no way. He just stymied Ferguson right there where it was.
Ishmael, the 260-pound senior. Lowry will stand back and watch this one hit and die inside the 30-yard line. Byrd gets out of trouble again after the fumble. They'll get the ball back at about the 28-yard line.
It didn't cost them anything except field position. They were down close enough that maybe they could have got something up on the board. Either a score one way or the other, that is touchdown or field goal. But now they've got to start all over again. And here, once again, the clock's down to 7:51. I tell you, Mac, this thing is flipping on in a heartbeat.
Well, we go back to what the coaches said. Neither one of them will pass, and the night will be short. And it's kind of been that way. Here's the pitch back. C.J. Hardwick trying to follow his blockers, and he got a couple there. Lowry with a nice block, gets him out to the corner and near the first down.
C.J. is, he's doing his job. The thing is just holding on to it, as I said, and that's no disrespect to C.J. because normally he's not one that fumbles the ball. But just a good hit on him from the backside, and then as a result, it just caused the fumble. As we can see, once again, you got the pitch, and you can see C.J. picking up the field, picking up his block, coming on down with it, and a good block on the outside. And hit. Now, you see what he did then?
Yep.
He put both hands on the ball. That's what you're supposed to do before you get hit. That's a super shot there. Oh, Byrd jumped.
On the outside there, number 71, a little anxious, Ray Schote. That'll mark him up 5 yards and back up, Douglas Byrd.
Yeah, now instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 15. And I'm sure Ray is saying, oh, my goodness. And Coach Byrd is saying the same thing. Ray, my man, you had done that.
False start against the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You know, it says you haven't done that all year. Okay, so now we got 1st and 15. You know, they had, what was it, 2nd and 17 and came up and made it all in one shot. Let's see what happens this time as we got Lowry to the near side.
14th time Douglas Byrd has been in the playoffs since 1972, their 9th straight appearance. They'd like to bring home a title. Tonight they trail 7-0. CJ on the right side gets a good block from Bagley and is up to near the 39, almost the 40-yard line.
Quite impressive. Ray Bagley did a good job. I just wonder if C.J. could have dipped in and gone back to the outside because Bagley had his man tied up fairly good.
Been a busy weekend here in Chapel Hill for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Last night, Walter Williams High School played the Asheville Cougars, and Williams was the winner in that one. Then 11 o'clock this morning, Southwest Onslow lost to High Point Central. Here's the pass to Lowry at the 40-yard line. Makes a nice move up to the 47-yard line. The game that preceded ours was for the Class A championship, and Williamston came out victorious against Graham 40-20 in that matchup.
Yeah, that was a good ball game. Okay, now we're sitting down there 3rd and 2, so it's going to be interesting to see what we've got called here as Lowry's over the sideline getting some. That wasn't Lowry.
Yeah, that was Lowry. They were raking the dirt out of his helmet there.
Okay, big play here.
3rd and 2. They're standing on both sides now. It's back to Sid. No, to Middleton. Middleton crunches, and he didn't get there.
He's close.
He's going to be about a half yard shy.
He's going to be about a half a yard shy. Let's see what Coach Brody's got up front now. See what he's got on his mind now. Because they're close. They're about a half a yard, maybe a yard at most, but it's about a half a yard short.
Bobby Pa says no, he didn't make it. Bob Paroli looking from the other side, and Bob trying to decide what he wants to do on this particular play as he'd be looking at 4th down. And again, I think somewhere about a foot to a half yard or so. We'll get a better look at it here at Kenan Stadium, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
It's
not a little closer than I thought.
Yeah. It's not even just about a foot.
Be a nice time to hand the ball to Shannon Searles off the right or left side there, don't you think, Coach?
And they're going for it. It's probably a good play to get a quarterback sneak, too.
Searles hasn't carried the ball in the second half as of yet. We're coming up on 6:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. 7-0 Reynolds. This is one of your bigger plays earlier in the second half, folks. Bobby Pa's eyeing it from the sideline. Quarterback sneak, first down, Antoine Williams over into Reynolds territory.
Yeah, when you get in a situation like that, by the time you have to get down to hand the ball off to go to somebody else, it makes it a little bit different. So what you really need to do is just go ahead and get the thing done. Let the quarterback do it because he's the one that can do it.
One less exchange you got to worry about.
Now that's exactly true, as we can see here on the replay. Good job, good execution by the line. They came off that ball with enthusiasm, and all they had to do was get a foot, and they got about the yard.
1st and 10, the ball now in Reynolds territory at the 49-yard line. Left-hand side, the pile moves a little bit. But it's closed up in a hurry there, and amongst those making the play, the outside linebacker Justin Seiler, the 190-pounder.
Boy, he laid a hit on him, too.
You heard a big gasp from the Reynolds side when this hit came. Watch it from ground level.
Wow, he just came after him, too.
Darrell Middleton on the carry for Byrd, picked up a yard.
Okay, we got Lowry to the near side. I keep thinking they're going to run that hitch and go before long.
Well, there's the hitch. It's incomplete. A little bit of a late hit back there on Williams. No flag thrown.
I still think they're going to run the hitch and go.
Bring up 3rd and 9 now. 5:03 to play.
As Lowry goes back, I'm almost... That's what we need to run. The hitch and go. I'm calling it.
The only problem is Bob Paroli doesn't have a headset on up here to hear you, Coach. Bob Paroli. 300 wins in his career, 145 losses, 11 times.
Okay, here it is. Big down.
Hand off to Middleton. Oh, he dropped the ball.
Oh, man, I tell you.
It's loose still, and Reynolds has picked up their second fumble of the night. That's 35 fumble recoveries on the season for the AC Reynolds Rockets.
And Bob just wondering, what does it take? He just snake bit, it seems like. When things seem to be going right, then all of a sudden, something happens to put dampers on what is going on. He just can't understand. He says, what in the world? What's this now? As they come down, they've run this play before. He just sticks it out there, and Middleton just drops the ball.
Oh, my.
And then he's looking around to see where it is, instead of, falling on it, and all of us trying to pick it up, and then it scoots out of his arm.
Davis, what a hit there. Ishmael Middleton comes calling and says, not on my side of the field, young man.
Oh, what a hit. Now, we said the same thing last week. Remember when Pine Forest, when Byrd scored, we said Pine Forest got down, something's got, well, watch this now, watch this hit.
Oh.
Boom. Oh. When we said something's got to happen on defense to lift the offensive spirit. The same thing's fixing to happen now. Something's got to happen defensively to lift the offensive spirit.
My goodness, that hurt to watch again.
And I'll tell you what, there's two people on this side over here, two receivers, and there was only one guy covering both of them. That's Lowry. These guys up top, now I know they're going to call back down, hey, guys, there's nobody over here. If they do the same thing again, we got to pass. We got something that nobody can pick up.
C.J. Hardwick there looking over things from the defensive side, defensive back. That's where
here they are again. Now he moves over a little bit closer. This time Middleton comes up, Middleton comes over a little bit closer, but they still have the same problem.
They're looking to pass, got a big rush on, he escapes, throws it incomplete.
Bounces that one down there. Should he have not run the ball?
Absolutely, he could have run for about a half a forever.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I know Bobby's saying, wow.
4th and 5. We were talking about the battle of the defenses and field position. Byrd won't win the field position battle, but they get out of a hole here.
Watch this, folks. There's nothing out there. And then he throws it down there on the hop. Wow, if he would have run the ball, he'd still be down about 20.
Josh Meadows with yet another punt. Byrd with a nice rush. Nice hang on this one. But where's it going to go out of bounds?
Goes out about the 20.
See how long. Oh,
no!
That's a terrible mark.
Oh, that's terrible. There's no way the ball goes down that far.
Ball should have been marked at least at the
20-yard line.
if not further up.
And watch the thing. That's right. It actually should have been about the 21.
Once more, watch where it goes out.
Watch where the ball goes out.
Oh, it hit out of bounds at the 18 on the fly.
Oh, that's terrible.
All right, the ball will be marked at just past the 15-yard line for the Douglas Byrd Eagles.
Believe that.
Even with our old eyes, we could see that. Man in motion is Kirkland. Pitch back. CJ turns it up, gets hit, picks up 4.
Needs to get himself outside as time flips on. We're talking now 3:27. Byrd's got to get something going now because they can't depend on too much on this, on the run and drive. They got to get it down close enough because they can burn up a lot of clock trying to get the ball down, into scoring territory. But they are going to have to, hold on to the ball and get some things going for them.
To Shannon Searles, the up back in the I formation for the Eagles. The pass, Williams fakes it.
There he is.
He is hit
Didn't have
and brought
enough
down.
time. Yeah, he didn't have enough time.
Antoine had to hold on to it. That was the play you'd been looking for, Coach. That time Lowry turned it up, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Baggerman didn't do a bad job either, because he came down, he made a little bit of fake in this thing, and then he came by and he covered up fairly well.
Bobby Poss looking for his 4th state title. There have been 3 Mid-South titles won or shared over the years. All 3 have been won or shared by Bobby Poss. Bob Paroli would like to see that streak end tonight.
Definitely so.
Here's CJ, gets a good hold, nice spin. CJ still on his feet, and he should have the first down.
He's close to it, depends on the spot, but seeing the last spot we saw, I don't know.
Different official marking this one.
Oh, wow, I just still can't get over that other one.
That should be enough for a first down.
We're going to measure.
Well, the chain gang's getting a good workout from the far side tonight.
Let's watch this again. As you can see, makes the fake, hands the ball off to CJ. CJ does a cut.
Oh,
hold on there.
He left Justin Seiler reaching for air as he did that 360. First down. That's Byrd's 2nd first down of the second half, 6th overall. Under 2 minutes to go in our 3rd quarter of play. A bunch of folks making the drive from Fayetteville, all bundled up on a night that has gotten colder as we moved along in this game. See the breath coming out of Antoine Williams there.
As you can see the clock ticking away.
The counter to Shannon Searles, tries to go outside, gets it back inside, and he's smothered down there by Nick Smith, the 234-pound senior defensive lineman.
They're going to have to, as I said, CJ's going to have to do something. He's got to break something big, or they're going to have to get something on the outside. As you can see the replay, that good job defensively. Number 35, Isaiah Johnson. He's the one that jammed the whole thing up, because when they pull, he hit the pulling guard coming around, and there was nowhere for him to go.
Byrd looking at 2nd and 11 now. They'll pitch it to CJ on the left side, trying to get outside. Turns it up, and he's up to the 32 before he did the belly flop. Marked at the 31 now. They won't give him any flop time there.
I don't see why not. So now we're sitting there 3rd and about 5. Big down. Now we got a timeout call. Official.
Time Warner Cable bringing your world home and bringing you the North Carolina State 4A football championship game. Time Warner Cable, of course, you get some great television to watch, and we're just honored to be part of your selection on the 4A football championship game. And thanks for watching the games throughout the season. And as we think about the 2000 football season, think about calling the folks at Time Warner Cable and see how you can be associated with the action.
I tell you can't go wrong because of all the highlights and all of the things that we've seen this year as far as football in Mid-South. Hey, it's well worth it because we see a great number of people, and they say, hey, you know, you guys, I saw the ball game and whatever. It's unbelievable the number of people that sees these broadcasts. 3rd down and 5. You're right about a big down here, Coach. Clock at 40 seconds to go. They'll try CJ on the right side. Gets a hit and is brought down at the 35. He's a yard shy. That was Middleton, wasn't it? They'll bring up 4th as Bobby Poss talks to his defense, and Ryan Bagley will trot in to do the punting for Douglas Byrd. Byrd needs a big break here, like Asheville had, hit somebody on the back or something such as that, or having the safety. I tell you what, he's a daring soul back there, isn't he? Yep. Bagley's 5th punt of the night. Longest has been 36 yards. That's Oak takes it at the 40 and is crushed right away there at that point. And Douglas Byrd will have it there with a 1st and 10. Asheville will have it there with a 1st and 10. Quarter. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. 7-0. Reynolds leading it. We'll be back with the 4th stanza right after this timeout. Welcome
Welcome back to the State 4A Football Championship game. It has been a defensive struggle. One big play, and that was the one that gave A.C. Reynolds 6 points. They tacked on the point after right at the end of the first half. They lead at 7-0. They have the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 40 to start the fourth quarter. Byrd's defense, there's a ball loose. And Byrd's got it. Denard had it. Who's got it now?
Oh, that's the break they needed.
Middleton with the ball.
We said they had to have a break somewhere. This is the deepest penetration by Byrd. If they put something up on the board now, then we got another ball game. Boy, I watched him come through. The back came through, and all of a sudden it turned around, and we're saying, wow, where's the ball?
Darrell Middleton, who had a huge offensive game last week, comes up big now.
He just hit it, took the thing right out of it, the thing down, and boom.
He took it away from J.D. Denard. Denard might have scored.
I know it. If he given it to him, he would have gone.
1st and 10 at the 34. The huge break Byrd's been waiting on, and the folks from Fayetteville are standing up. They're looking for C.J. He's up to the 27 and a nice run, turning inside and somehow finding a hole to wiggle through.
You know, there was nothing there. I mean, there was nothing there. And he's able to worm his way through and pick up something like, 4 or 5 yards off of that. Picked up 4 yards. Now, how in the world he ever got through, I don't know. Watch this, folks. As you can see, everything comes down to coming right in your living room. C.J. sees what little bit of an opening. He cuts back out, gives a stiff arm here, gives a little twist there, gives a turn there, and then he picks up 4 yards.
High formation for Byrd. The pitch back to C.J. again. Gets a good block. He's inside the 20 and into the 15-yard line.
All right, this is the thing now. They really got themselves fired. As I said, it takes something to get the offense going, and that's exactly what happened.
There's big Ishmael Middleton. Likes what he sees from the defensive side of the ball because he's getting a rest while the offense is inside the 20.
If they jam this down. Now watch this now. As we come out there, good. There's a super block there by Searles. Look at C.J. makes a little twist, turn. Ball sitting down there on the 15.
Ishmael Middleton wanting to see the Byrd Eagles answer here. 11:07 to play in the game. Searles gets it, hit, and he stopped for a loss of a yard.
Losing some yardage on that one. Timeout called by Byrd. I don't know whether they did a Boy, Paroli is hot.
He is upset about something.
Evidently, they must have checked off.
I haven't seen Bob Paroli that upset in quite some time.
I hadn't either. Evidently, they must have checked something off somewhere. He is, I tell you what, I haven't seen him that mad either. And what's happening is he's telling, hey, guys, we get down here and you can't block. What in the world's wrong with you?
Well, maybe it takes that kind of fiery emotion from Bob here in the final 11 minutes to push the Byrd Eagles where they need to be. Their 16th football game of the season, and they're threatening, and they need to make it happen here.
And if they don't make it down there now, then the ball game is sitting right smack dab on the shoulders of Reynolds, simply because the fact that they have shut them down, and then you're going to find the shoulders dropping of the offense. Defense has got to do something else to get them back up, which they did then. And Coach Paroli is hot because the fact is that there's no reason for anybody to get thrown for a loss. Where's all the blocking? And that's what he's upset about. Somebody's got to do some blocking somewhere.
Second down and 11. 11:01 to play in the game. Byrd trailing by 7. C.J. left side. Gets one block from Searles. Can he get to the corner? Oh, no, and a great defensive play there to track him down from the cornerback position. Chris Montgomery, the 167-pounder, catches up with C.J.
Big series. They've got to get down to the 5-yard line or get a first down. They've got to get to the 5, and they're sitting down about the 14. So they've got 9 more yards to go. It's 3rd and 9.
Been tough for Byrd to get around that corner tonight. They've got Lowry split out wide to the right. The defense champ coming from Asheville. The Byrd fans cheering for the offense. Antoine getting rushed, and he's thrown down at the 27-yard line.
Oh, big defensive play. What happened then, Lowry was supposed to go fake to the outside, go inside, and Lowry slipped down. The receiver was on the ground. There's nowhere for him to throw the ball. So now we're talking about 4th and forever. Watch this now. You can't see Lowry over here on the outside. All of a sudden, Williams has nowhere to throw the ball, and Lowry's on the ground.
Watch the big rush coming in here as everything collapses for Antoine.
He had time to throw the ball, really, but what ended up happening is Lowry was no longer there.
John Haney slingshotted him to the ground. 22 yards to go to get a first down, and Byrd takes a timeout.
And Paroli is beside himself. They went into the power eye. He is beside himself now. As you can see, he is really livid now because what he's calling and what's going in there is two different things. Well, the ball's resting on the 21-yard line.
27-yard line.
27. That's 37. Whoa, that's 41 yards.
Long way to go.
That's 41 yards. That is a long way to go. At least if he was down there tight enough, you know, if he didn't make it on that other one, he could have kicked the field goal, and it would have been down by 4. But then if they scored a touchdown, then they could have won 10-7 if they were able to hold him.
Still a lot of time to go on this one, but the way the offenses have been able to grind out the time, Byrd wants to make everything a key play, and this one is a big one for him.
It really is.
Bob Paroli looking for win number 301 to tie the all-time record in the state of North Carolina.
And you know they're coming after him now because they know he's got to throw the ball.
Here's a little razzle-dazzle action. Got one man over there to block for him, and Lowry couldn't get to the outside. It's
good job by the defense, as I said. Somebody, you know, how many times have I ever said this, that you've got to stay home? When the ball goes away from you, you've got to be as deep as the deepest man. And that's exactly what Asheville did. They went away from him. The people came up and said, hey, if you come back, and they've seen it before, they did a super job of scouting. And so, watch this now. When Lowry comes back around, there's two people sitting there waiting for him.
And they were ready indeed. John Boggs just put the shoulder down and put the hurt on him. And that will give Reynolds the ball, and Reynolds can smell a state championship. They're 10 minutes away. They've got the ball, and they held off the big Byrd threat.
Now, Bird's got to hold them down here now. Defense is saying, hey, guys, we're going to do our job. How about you doing yours? So they've got to hold them down here now. Both teams had a turnover deep in the other team's territory and did not take advantage of either one of them.
Cup on the carry that time around. Maybe picked up a half yard. We'll call it second down at about 9 for Reynolds.
Okay, defensively, Bird's still in there. You know, they still doing the job that they need to do. The thing is now, offensively is where the problem's coming. Can they do anything offensively? And Asheville's in the same boat. They're not going to put anything up in the air because they're ahead. And their defense is doing a good job of holding, so why should you try to risk anything? As they probably throw the next pass.
But, I wasn't going to say that.
But, you know, they've held them. And in fact, they held them deep down here, so they're not going to do anything that's going to be out of the ordinary.
3rd and 7 with 9:04 to play, and the clock running at Keenan Stadium. Up back, got a hole, and got a first down.
Got a first down out of it, too. They spread them out, got the first down.
First down of the second half for Reynolds. The Byrd defense been playing strong.
Have we got a penalty? No.
Nope, they'll move the markers.
Yeah, I saw the guy with the marker walking back. I was wondering where in the world is he going?
8 minutes and 50 seconds to play at Keenan Stadium. The Douglas Byrd defense forcing one big fumble a few minutes ago. They need another one here.
Here's a trap. Good job on the trap. Opens up a huge hole in there. Notice the running back for Ashwood. Both hands on the ball.
Good balance, too, after he was hit. Just kept leaning forward and kept the feet going.
What they're doing now, they're spreading Byrd out.
There's another nice run this time around. Josh Meadows up to the 45-yard line, and the clock keeps moving.
And the defense has got to buckle it up again. You know, as I said, they got the ball back for them. Don't know whether or not the defense has now got to say, hey, make the stand. They're going to have to make the stand now.
Meadows a little shook up on that play. Comes off slowly. The officials taking a timeout to give them a chance to get there. They'll reset the clock now.
As they wind it up with, 14-13 on the clock.
Bobby Foss in the hunt for another state championship. Coaching staff for Bob Paroli's Douglas Byrd Eagles looking for some magic here. Broken play there.
Broken play. That was a big play defensively because that was a broken play. Chad Davis rolled out to hand the ball off and there was nobody there.
Make it 3rd down and 6.
But that's not as bad. You know, for them, if they do nothing else except punt the ball, that means Byrd's got to come a long way down the field in which to score.
Chad Davis running a good offensive scheme of things for this Reynolds team tonight. Done a good job at quarterback for him. Again, only about his 5th game starting. Pitch back. Nice job on the catch, but nothing going to happen there. It's going to bring up 4th down, and Reynolds will punt.
Chad looked like he may be hurt.
They can ill afford to lose Chad.
Right. Chad took a shot on that. And one good thing as far as Asheville's concerned is that Chad can go over to the sideline and get his thoughts back together again. If he had to run another down, they would have been in some kind of trouble. Watch Chad take a lick when it comes down. As he sees what's coming, boom.
Ishmael Middleton in
right.
There. Ishmael, by the way, will be playing in the Shrine Bowl this year. What? Oh, I thought he got his hand on it at first.
Too.
All over the thing there. Was that Brown who almost got in it, or Searles? To Shannon Searles, I think, almost got a paw on that punt.
Ball sitting down there on, what, the 23?
Yep.
Long way to go.
Well, we saw Pine Forest in this kind of situation a week ago, Coach. They had to go the distance, and they did just that.
But the difference is Pine Forest has been known to throw the ball. Byrd is not necessarily that good of a passing team. So that makes a lot of difference in the situation.
Plenty of time on the clock to march it down. CJ gets a good block, turns it up near the 30, and that's a pickup of 7.
That's, you know, time's down to 6:35. They have plenty of time to get it done. And if they get it down there, then that would make an ideal situation. But they're going to probably have to do it on this series of downs because the way both of these teams like to eat up the clock and stay on the ground, you know, this is a big series. You say that every time they come down with the ball, but this is even bigger now than what they've done in the past.
There are 18 young men clad in Douglas Byrd colors who are playing their final high school football game tonight.
He gets the ball up to about the 30-yard line. Let's say they're going to spot it on about the 31. So now we're talking about 3rd down and what, about
2.5 to 3.
2.5 to 3, right.
Well, they've given it to CJ pretty consistently in this last set of series here.
Well, he's the big playmaker. CJ's the one that's going, if he's going to do anything, then he's the one that's going to have to get it done.
Lowry is out wide to the left. 29 catches coming into this game for Lowry. CJ straight ahead and close to the 1st down.
He may have gotten it. That's a good spot there.
Correction, that was Darrell Middleton on the carry. They're both so quick, it's hard to pick the number up when they got the ball.
They're probably going to measure, but I think he's got it.
Time Warner Cable's game of the week. Yep. You're right, Coach. They're going to blow the whistle and bring the shades again one more time.
How many times have we seen that?
That's at least 4 tonight. They'll look at this carefully here. 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go.
It's going to be barely. I think it's about the nose of the ball.
Ever so barely. Byrd gets the 1st down. Unofficially, their 8th 1st down of the evening.
Well, unfortunately, 1st downs don't win ball games for you.
But it gets you another 4 downs.
Yeah, get you a little bit closer, get you a little bit closer.
Byrd trailing this one 7-0 on our high school game of the week, our finale for the 1999 season and calendar year.
And what a thrilling year it's been.
Back to passes, Williams. Got a rush and gets thrown down again. That time it's Nick Smith, the senior defensive lineman, making the play.
They're coming through there. Byrd's offensive line just is not able to hold them out. And that's a big, big, big plus as far as Asheville's concerned, because if they can't hold them out, then they can't throw the ball.
8-yard loss
here on the replay. They just coming right through there, just like boom, just like they're not even there. And there's just nowhere for them to go. As big 34 comes down and puts the quietus on him.
High formation backfield for Byrd. Clock at 4:22. There's Middleton. Runs into somebody and nowhere to go. You're right. Maybe lost another half yard on that play.
He did.
3rd and a long way to go for Byrd.
And if I hate to say it, if they don't make it on this series of down, I'm afraid it's over. Of course, you can't never say it's over till it's over. What they say, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
She's in the bathroom warming up right now.
She certainly is. She's getting her mess together. And you hate to see it because Bob's done such a wonderful job. He's done so much for football, you know, in the eastern part of the state and also in the western when he was at Burlington.
Third down, 19 to go. Williams to pass, rushes on, pulls it down. Now he's going to try to run for it. He's up to the 30 and pushed out of bounds at the 33.
10 yards to go.
4th and 10 coming up for Douglasburg. Clock stopped at 3:32 to play.
And Byrd is telling him, hey, you know, you can't run for about 17 yards. So they're going to have to punt.
Watch the replay here.
As you can see him running, and he just gets pushed out of bounds. And he, you know, you'd have to throw the ball because the run's not going to get you there.
Bagley back in deep punt formation. Gets this one up. Oh, almost same thing happened to them that time. Reynolds was lucky. Almost hit one of their guys in the back. Some discussion now by the officials.
That would have been a big one if it had.
They're talking about it still.
No, they're going to give it to Reynolds.
Peden's Seafood and Catering Service, a wonderful place to enjoy with the family. Chicken, barbecue, and some of the best flounder that I have ever had in my life, Coach.
I tell you what, and I've gone with the oysters and shrimp here lately, and it has been something else. You know, they do a wonderful job. There's no question about that. They're still talking about this thing.
Call 488-1972 at Peden's Seafood and Catering Service. And get them to bring that big truck out your way.
We need to bring them up here and feed these officials, too, when it comes down there. Maybe we can get a little something in there. But I tell you what, Peden's does a wonderful job. There's no question about it.
After a long discussion, the officials now decide to give the ball to A.C. Reynolds. And it came mighty close to hitting one of their blockers in the back on that play.
It did. Of course, we couldn't tell from up here. But the thing about it is, though, that they discussed that for a long time before they ever did anything.
So at the 43-yard line, Reynolds would like to mark off 3 minutes and 20 seconds and give Bobby Poss another championship. Byrd's defense going to have to play big, and there's Ishmael Middleton making a quick stop on him.
And for a loss. Now, we're talking 2nd and 11 as time ticks away.
And that play clock just now starting to run at 22 seconds to go, and Reynolds will use up every possible second on it.
They're going to milk that for everything that it's worth. And the big thing about it is Byrd's offensive line is not able to hold out Asheville's defensive line, and that's where your problem's coming. As Asheville goes into the power I.
3 backs in the backfield, handed off, and there's Middleton again. Big loss on that play of about 3. Going to bring up 3rd down, and the clock keeps running, and we're down to 2:34 and count.
And Bobby's going to keep it on the ground. He doesn't have any other choice. He's not going to do anything stupid, as we can see the replay there. A little bit of stumble, and boy, I tell you what, he came through like gangbusters on that.
You got to watch yourself. If you're Chad Davis, you get kind of caught with your feet in an odd place. Ishmael Middleton will knock the ball loose, and you're in big trouble.
Yeah, the big thing is if he could have gotten through and taken the ball away from him, as you can see Bobby there on the sideline.
3rd down, they'll try the left side. Nothing going to happen there, and it'll bring up 4th down. If Byrd has a timeout, it'd be a good place to burn it right now.
Yes, time slips on down to now less than a minute on the clock. They still have time to go. They got 1:55 and counting. They need to get some kind of a run back off of this, and they also need to put something up on the board, and they got to do it in a hurry. As we see number 40, Josh Meadows in the back at the punt.
534 yards. Big rush by Byrd. They don't get it. Lowry watches it hit and die at the 26-yard line. 1:28 left in Byrd's season if they don't put 7 points on the board right now.
This is it. We keep saying it over and over and over and over again, but folks, this is it. It's going to be now or never. Because they're going to have to do something with it because there's not enough time. 1:28 on the clock. They've got to do something in putting something up on the board.
31-yard punt on that one. Again, the ball resting at the 27. Lowry goes out wide to the left. Lone receiver for Byrd. Now you got a slot receiver out.
You got two over to the wide side of the field.
Antoine to pass, rushed again. And he's still on his feet.
And there's a flag down. What's going to happen? They've got holding. Anytime the official puts it down there, there's holding. There's holding on Byrd, and it will come back. No, it's a cliff. It will come back.
They'll bring it back to the 12-yard line, I think.
And Coach Parole is telling them, you got to throw the ball, son.
It's been tough for Antoine to find anybody. Lowry, pretty much the lone receiver, set out the last couple of plays. Slotted out the last couple of plays.
Okay, I tell you, the penalties have really killed him. Let's see if we can see what's happening here.
Flipping
Yep.
against the offense. Half the distance to the goal line. Repeat first down.
That's true. Now, you can clip on the line of scrimmage, but once you get past the 4-yard mark, that is in the backfield, you can't clip, and that's what happened.
Well, we didn't see it from there. We did see Kirkland put a great block on somebody there. Ball now resting at the 10. Antoine to pass. Unloads it. Looking for Lowry. No flag, no completion.
No, Lowry tried to play defense on that one and bat the ball away from the safety man of Asheville. Now we're down to 61 clicks on the clock. Second down. If nothing else, they got to get a first down out of this deal. Now watch this. There's enough people down there to start an army. He was not double, triple
basketball team back there.
Yeah, triple covered.
Second and 10 for Byrd with 1:01 to play. They trail it 7-0 in the 4A state title game. Time Warner Cable's Game of the Week. Back upwards, Coach John Daskell with the call for you. Actually, that's a 9. It looks like a 5. It's 49 seconds to play.
49, excuse me.
But here's the
coming
pass.
right at you in your living room. As Lowry comes by, picks it up, and that's fine. Asheville doesn't care anything about that. What they don't want him to do is get deep. All they want to do is keep him up in front of him. If he stays up in front, then that's fine. As you can see there on the replay again. So they let him catch these little short passes because now they got third and about 7 yards to go. And, that's all they want. They'll let him catch the 10, 15-yard passes until he gets down there close. And each time they throw it, the clock ticks, and they're going to eventually run out of timeout, and then as a result, the time's going to expire. That's what Asheville is hoping for.
Well, one bit of good news for the Byrd fans. Their leading receiver for this season has 2 more years to go with the team. Calvin Lowry, just a sophomore, the favorite receiver of Antoine Williams throughout this season. They'll be looking for Calvin as probably the first option on this play. 3rd and 8. Huge play for Byrd with 49 seconds to go from their own 29-yard line.
As Byrd puts, Asheville's putting back 7 defensive backs.
C.J. Hardwick in motion. Big rush. Antoine still got a shot at it. He's got the first down. He holds on to it. He does.
All right,
the 40.
Now the clock's going to stop. The clock will stop until they get the ball set. Now what they need to do is line up at the line of scrimmage and then down it right quick like, and then the clock stops. But then they can go back in the huddle.
Official just now starting the clock. And
that's what he's going to do. Now to get back into the huddle. 1 down's not going to make that much difference.
60 yards from pay dirt and only 36 seconds to get there for Byrd.
It is not too big of a chore. There's a possibility it can happen.
Well, we had said earlier in this game, we were expecting a couple of tricks from Bobby Paz. The one real trick play we've seen tonight has come from Bob Parole. If he's got another 1 or 2 that can get him some good yardage, now's the time to pull it out.
That's true.
Williams to pass. Caught by Lowry and out of bounds. Nice job working the clock.
Good job. Did he get the first down on that? Yes, he did. So now they're down into Asheville territory. Still not a big problem for Asheville. 31 there. He got 31 clicks on the clock. It's not going to get critical till they get down to about the 20. Now you can see it does a good job. As Lowry catches the ball, runs out of bounds here to stop the clock. It's a good job there.
All right, you do that a couple of more times, and you got a shot at the end zone.
That's correct. You will definitely have to do that.
Back on the clock, 31 seconds.
They'll add 2 ticks back onto the clock. And in this kind of ball game, that could be huge. All right, they have done it.
And what people don't realize is they keep the time on the field also. They just don't go by this clock here.
Williams to pass. Got plenty of time. Got to find somebody open. Now throws it away, and a good move.
They didn't have any choice. They did a super job. Ashford did a super job. They put Kyle Poss on Lowry, and they just doubled him up. They took the short pass away from him to the short side of the field. They need to put him on the wide side of the field where he have a little chance to roam a little bit.
Well, it's so tough with most of the passes intended for Lowry. Of course, Reynolds, that's who they're keying on. They're double and triple teaming him there.
Well, they're definitely loading up on Lowry. There's no question about that.
They got Bagley out to the left side. Mike Paroli trying to adjust him here in the offensive scheme of things. Now CJ to the right side.
It was CJ right down the middle.
And there he is.
It's too wide.
Intercepted, and Reynolds is going to win the state championship.
That's all. It's over now.
Almost intercepted by the up back. The deep back then got it. And that will put this one in the record books.
That's it. It's over.
Coming up with the play, number 40 for Reynolds, Josh Meadows. Watch it one more time on the replay, Coach.
As you see him go back, he sets up, and he throws the ball. And CJ's not tall enough to come down with it. It's just up over his head. It did the tip. He picks it up, and then that's it. All Reynolds has got to do is fall on it, and it's over.
One play.
It's it.
We'll take care of it.
And that's it.
Well, in a defensive struggle, it was one play at the end of the first half that is going to be the one that makes the A.C. Reynolds Rockets the state champs in North Carolina and give them their first state title ever. A 7-0 defensive struggle with the Douglas Byrd Eagles. 11 defensive starters on that Reynolds team, and they are sharing many emotions. Some tears over there, and they were playing to some extent for Chris Mott, their starting quarterback, felled by lupus just 6 weeks ago. Meanwhile, for Douglas Byrd, a very bitter loss for the Eagles and the coaching staff. Bob Paroli with 300 wins. He'll have to wait for another year to get 301 and tie the state record.
Yeah, Mike Paroli went out there and told them, say, hey, all they're going to do is fall on it. Don't worry about going in there and popping anything. It's over now. Because all they're going to do is let the thing click off. Time's it, and Asheville has won the state championship.
Bobby Poss and the Rockets from Reynolds High School victorious on a cool December night at Kenan Stadium at Chapel Hill. Our hats off to Bobby Poss and to Bob Paroli of the Douglas Byrd Eagles and their seniors. What a great career they had at Douglas Byrd. Unfortunately, tonight, they come up 7 points short to a very strong Reynolds team.
That's exactly right, because they did a heck of a job. They played their hearts out. As you can see, the two going out there shaking hands, and boy, I tell you what, there's just no better situation than what happened here. Bobby Steele's got that little magic that happens as far as the, as far as state championship is concerned, because he's been there. This is his fourth. He ended up, he won two outright, and then he tied one. So this is 4.
2 of those at 71st, one of those shared, and of course at Southview in 91 and here in 99 from Asheville at Reynolds High School. Bobby Poss and the Rockets victorious on this night.
Did a good job, and you can't take anything away from the Byrd Eagles, because they did a good job as well. Defensively, they came down and did a super job in getting it all together. And as dejected as all of them are, they're coming up there and they're going through the process of shaking hands, which is a sign of a true champion.
This one is in